This is going to be one of the watershed days in financial markets history.
It was a manic Monday in the financial markets. The Dow tumbled more than 500 points after two pillars of the street tumbled over the weekend. Lehman Brothers, a 158-year-old firm, filed for bankruptcy. So in just 6 months, 3 of the 5 biggest independent firms on Wall Street have now disappeared. Bear Stearns, which collapsed last spring, Lehman Brothers, and Merrill Lynch. Insurance giant AIG is the next name on the list of troubled companies. It's looking for $40 billion in bridge loans.
Some people say this doesn't stop until the housing hits bottom. Do you think that's true?
Correct.
With all this commotion going on in the stock market right now, ladies and gentlemen, March of 2020 will be the takeoff pad for some stocks to rise up in price. I mean, the rise happened to Tesla in February, so what's going to be the next stock to do the same? Well, guess what? My future investors, I'm going to tell you my predictions for the best stocks to watch in March of 2020. If you want to see more future videos, consider hitting the subscribe button. It only takes a second out of your day and it will help me and possibly you. And anyways, let's get back to our video. Alright, March of 2020 on Wall Street is really an unknown path. Investors believe it is either the takeoff of stocks from here, as in we're going to shoot up and go into profit of a lot, or it could just be the beginning of another major crash in the market. I mean, as you can see here, the market was going up, and then it just absolutely dumped. Like, this is in the matter of what? Oh, my date goes away. But literally, like, 1 day. It dumped in one singular day. Almost, for NASDAQ, almost like, I think that's 600 about. And then, of course, Dow J just dumped, like you've heard before, 1,000 points. Like, that's just straight up horrible. Actually, oh my goodness, I'd say maybe even almost 2,000 points. Like, overall, that's pretty bad. And to other people, yeah, that is pretty bad. But to us investors, that's amazing. Because now we can put in our short orders and most likely make profit from the stocks that will soon rise up. Well, that's if we think it's going to rise up. But personally, I cannot tell by myself if it's going to go up or down. But from the looks of it, obviously, I can see it going down. I mean, there's a big candlestick here, but that really doesn't mean anything to me. Because US still hasn't gotten like their outbreak of the coronavirus, and yeah, so pretty much the stocks are dropping because of corona, but it's not the fact that like, oh, there's a disease and if the disease hits you, stocks instantly go down. No, it's a matter of fact of like, it's more technical, as in it's hard to explain. So if it's a matter of China literally brings our stuff, our supplies to the US, but they can't do that because they kind of like caused this crap. So now we're just over here having a stock crash, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, Corona, thank you, I guess. I mean, personally, people are blaming Corona, and I believe it's Corona, but I don't at the same time. I'm like 50-50. But if I like see more evidence on that Corona is bringing the stock market down, then I'll believe it more, obviously. But other than that, this video is just going to talk on more of what if the stocks rise side for March of 2020, because I really don't know if it's going to go up or down. Anyways, if that does indeed happen, if we do go into a rise for March, these stocks that I'm about to tell you about right now is what you're going to have to watch in March of 2020. Coming in at number 1 on our list is Apple. It is currently $273 as of, well, it's Sunday for me, so the market's not open. And if we go to our chart here, we can see it totally just dumped. It actually, in the beginning of January, Apple was zooming up. We were probably going to see it go to $400, but it got to $330, I'm pretty sure, at max, and just cooled off, and then stayed at $320 something for a while. It did drop here, and it dropped, let's see, this is February. It kept on dropping because of coronavirus. Or once you saw something in the news, it would just drop, go up, drop, go up. See how it keeps on repeating? And then this is where you look at the last drop. Okay, so if you look here, that goes 1. There's actually a tiny drop there. So we'll count that as 2, 3, and then just straight up dumps down. And because of this, our buy zone on the 45-minute mark, it looks pretty good. So if it goes straight up, we are going to see a significant gain. Probably is going to go back to $330 in a matter of, like, what's this time period? So it's going from here to here, it's just going to be about like 2 weeks from, okay, looking at here, this is obviously the 28th, then here it's the 18th, so it's about 10 days. And if we are going to see when it will go up, again, we are assuming it will go up. It will probably get to 320, and that's probably in the matter of 2 weeks. So 330 in 2 weeks, that's a pretty good profit. I believe another increase will happen, and we'll probably see Apple maybe going to probably 500 by the end of the year, maybe 450 to 500 if we stay on task and Corona's calmed down. But yeah, that's Apple for you. On to our next stock. With our second stock, I chose Microsoft. And if we go to our featured chart, it's $162 as of Sunday. It, again, just like Apple, went down. But as you saw with the Apple, it was kind of like around here, and then it was kind of just dipping there. Microsoft has been in a bad area since January in terms of its price on its stock. But it started to go up, then we had down, down, and then it goes down, of course. I'd say if I were to choose between Microsoft and Apple, I would probably say go with Apple. But other than that, Microsoft is still pretty good to look at during March. And if we go, okay, so here is probably the same as Apple, like 9-day difference. So probably if Microsoft were to go up, I would say it would probably go back to 180 in a matter of, again, like 2 weeks. If Corona calms down, of course. Maybe with like going into the 3rd week, it would probably get back to its same price. But if it were to surpass like 180 something, I'd say by the end of the month, it'd be 190. And by the end of the year, Microsoft will probably hit 250 to 300. But yeah, this is the stock you're going to look at for March. Coming in at number 3, we have Domino's Pizza. Okay, just listen to me for just a second. If we go to the chart, we're going to see that Domino's Pizza stock exploded. Like, it just went to an insane price. And that's only because of their earnings. They mentioned it on the 20th, I believe. And that showed that they had a major profit, which made them zoom up to 360 around that. Well, here it's 360. Of course, when that Corona crap happened, it dropped down a bit, but it didn't actually drop as much as like Apple and Microsoft. It actually did really well. It's still pretty decent, but again, it's probably gonna go up. Honestly, this is probably the one you're gonna watch the most because of how much it just keeps on rising up. Like, it's pretty insane how big it rose. Sorry, with all the ads, I don't want to go premium. I like my stuff free. Anyways, yeah, it's just pretty crazy. But if I were to say, if it were to go up, it would probably go back to 360 or let's just say 375. It probably will go to 375 by the end of the month. So that's like, what, 4 weeks? Yeah, it's beginning of March for me right now. So it would just be literally the end of the month until it gets to 375. But if we were to look at it like the ceiling, then I'd say maybe like a 2 to 3. Honestly, I can only really see 3 weeks it goes back to its original price and then it starts going up from there. But other than that, it's probably gonna go back up because of how much it's profiting. And even though Corona did affect it's like seriously, like it's not gonna affect that much. I'm pretty surprised with this one too. Domino's was pretty surprising this year, not gonna lie. If we go back to the other February though, I don't know if it did the same thing. Okay, it did do the same thing. Wait. No, it actually did not do the same thing. Actually did the opposite, ironically. Anyways, yeah, that's pretty much Domino's Pizza for you. On to our next stock, I guess. Alright, this is going to be our last pick for what to watch in March, and this is personally my pick, which means I didn't go on the internet, search and research and do all that stuff to see what was the best stock. This is my personal choice. So if I get it wrong, then oh well, I was wrong. Of course, Netflix has been going up. As you can see, I did get a big candlestick. But yeah, it's been going up since January, end of January. And people have kind of been underrating it. Like, if you go over here, it's been like, let's say 320, we'll say 325, and up to here at the max, it was 390. Like, that's pretty, that's pretty good for just a company that, has TV shows and movies. I guess in a way for rent, but you kind of have a subscription for it, so rent is free. Anyways, of course, it drops from the stupid disease, but hey, that candlestick's pretty good. Like, that's just in 1 hour. 1 hour. And if we take a look at the bottom of the stick before it, I'd say 360, let's just say 356. And if we go up here, it's 370. Like, that jump is insane. In just 1 hour. That's a $14 profit if you just had one stock, but imagine if you had multiple. That would be a really big profit. And personally, I believe it will take off for 400 this month. I'm like seriously serious. I'm like serious. If we go here, February, it's not gonna show the first, but the profit here, it's 354, and if we go all the way to the end, of course it's 390. It didn't hit 400 yet, but I believe it's gonna hit it and maybe even go on to like 450 at max. Maybe even more. I'm not even gonna say max because at this rate, there's no such thing as a max because of what's been happening in the market. But yeah, those are the stocks for what to watch for in March of 2020. And those are just bold predictions since all the market has done in the last week of February is go down. However, if we see a substantial increase in stock prices or stock points for Dow Jones, Nasdaq, NYSE, etc., then these will probably be the stocks to just keep an eye out for. Like, you're gonna have to watch these stocks throughout the whole month. They may not even profit. Again, these are just predictions, so I don't really know if they will. But if it does, like if the stocks, okay, even just looking here, And looking at the previous ones, it starts to go up a bit. So that pretty much means that we might be going up and getting out of this mini recession. So overall, just watch these stocks. Maybe you can, maybe it will bring your profits up high. However, if we do see a substantial increase in these stock prices, we're going to have to keep an eye out for these. And that's why I have provided you these stocks, so you can, of course, keep an eye out for it. I believe possibly that these stocks may also be the next Tesla, quote, quote, stock, with its potential future surges in price for just this month. And I only say that because if you look here, the candlestick shoots up, and if we look at the previous charts, it's starting to go up. So it's already showing that we might even go back up instead of going down because of Corona. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoyed the picks that I had to watch for March of 2020. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button and comment down below which stock choice was your favorite. Maybe even suggest your own stock you will believe will surge in price for this month. Anyways, I will see you all in the next video next week. Adios.